Welcome to Hilbert's Grand Hotel, a place with an infinite number of rooms. Room 1, Room 2, Room 3. It goes on forever. But here's the problem. Every room is already full. You need a room, so the manager moves every guest to the room number that is double their current one. Guest 1 moves to 2, guest 2 to 4, and so on. Suddenly, all the odd-numbered rooms are empty. There are now an infinite number of vacancies in a hotel that was just fully booked. This is the paradox of infinity. It gets weirder. If an infinite number of buses, each with infinite guests, arrives, we use prime numbers. Current guests move to powers of 2, the first bus to powers of 3, and so on. This rigorous math was discovered by Georg Cantor. He proved that we can fit infinite infinities inside a single one. It's not a magic trick, it's the beauty of the infinite. In the late 19th century, a mathematician named Georg Cantor decided to do the impossible. He decided to count infinity. At the University of Halle, Cantor began a journey that would lead him to the brink of mathematical genius and madness. Before him, mathematicians hated infinity. They treated it like a dangerous abyss, a concept too vast for human logic to handle. The legendary Gauss called it a horror. To the titans of the era, infinity was just a concept, not a number you could actually measure. But Cantor proved that there are actually different sizes of infinity. It wasn't just one destination, it was a hierarchy. There is countable infinity, like the whole numbers 1, 2, 3. This is known as Aleph Null, the smallest level of the infinite. Imagine a hotel with infinite rooms. Even if it's full, you can always make space for more. This is the logic of Aleph Null. Then there is uncountable infinity, the decimal numbers between 0 and 1, a set so dense it defies standard counting. He proved that the number of decimals is larger than the number of whole numbers. It is a bigger infinity. His diagonal argument showed that no matter how you list the decimals, you'll always miss one. There is always more. This discovery was revolutionary. It meant infinity had layers, reaching toward a complexity no one had ever dared imagine. But this idea was treated as heresy. The mathematical community didn't just disagree. They attacked him with relentless cruelty. They called him a corrupter of youth and a scientific charlatan. His peers tried to erase his work from history. They said only God could understand infinity, and Cantor was trying to build a Tower of Babel to reach the heavens. The stress of these attacks eventually broke him. The weight of his own discoveries became a burden too heavy to carry. Cantor spent his last years in and out of sanitariums, suffering from severe depression and a mind at war with itself. He believed he was talking directly to God, who was revealing the secrets of transfinite numbers to his weary soul. To Cantor, these numbers weren't just math. They were a divine truth that transcended the petty criticisms of men. He died alone, in a mental hospital, starving and misunderstood. A man who saw the infinite but lost the world. But today, we know he was right. David Hilbert later said, "No one shall expel us from the paradise Cantor has created." His set theory is now the very foundation of modern mathematics and the logical bedrock of computer science. The digital world you live in is built on the logic of the transfinite. Cantor's vision finally found its place. Georg Cantor, the man who wasn't afraid to look into the abyss of the infinite and count what he saw. If the universe is infinite in size, the implications are truly terrifying. Physics dictates there are only a finite number of ways you can arrange atoms. In an infinite space, those patterns must repeat. Travel far enough, about 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 29 meters, and you will find a planet identical to Earth. You will find a room identical to this one, and you will find a person identical to you. In fact, you will find an infinite number of yous. Some are billionaires, some are wearing a different shirt, some are already gone. In an infinite universe, every non-zero probability must happen. Somewhere, Star Wars is real. Somewhere, dinosaurs never died. We are not unique. We are just one instance of a repeating pattern in an endless fractal. So remember, you aren't alone. You're just part of the infinite. Thanks for watching. But there is one final problem. Can time be infinite? If time goes on forever, do we face the Poincaré recurrence? This theorem states that any system will eventually return to its initial state. The universe expands, it dies. But given infinite time, the particles will randomly bump into each other and restart the Big Bang. We will live this life again, and again, and again. Infinity removes the meaning of the end. It turns life into a circle. Is this comforting, or is it a prison? Humans are built to understand beginnings and endings. We are not built to understand forever. Maybe that is why Cantor went mad. He stared into the abyss of forever, and the abyss stared back. I am your host. Count the stars, subscribe.